And we should be live. Let's have a look. Double check everything is all good. Yep, we're good. What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show today. Really appreciate you guys. Smash up the likes, hit the subscribe button. This is actually a very new thing that I'm doing today, actually. Really and truly, what it is that I'm going to be just talking about alts itself, like on this particular session itself. What the plan I've been looking to do is the weekly outlook on a Sunday-ish kind of thing, and then we'll do the alt sessions on sometime in the weekdays, just to review what's going on and see how the market's going. So the big important question is that everyone's actually worried about is this a bull run? Is this a run for alts? Is this going to be a bullish year? That's what is this. It's always going to be an is this, right? Like, are we, is the low in? Or, I don't know, there's loads of questions that they ask for, like in terms of bearish, like, are we bearish? Is this a retest? Is it a bear market rally? There's so many things you can ask about as well. I don't know. I really don't know. The honest truth is, I don't know. I mean, the advice that is really important is we play the market as it is. And, when it approaches targets, you take your profits. And if it does break out, and there's always ways to get back in. It's not a big deal. So there's always a way. So the way I'm looking at it this way is very different. Right? I just want to speak to you guys for just a moment, and just take advice. Well, take point on my advice I'm giving out to you. So what it was, right? In 2020, I played the market very differently to how I'm looking to play the market now. It's a different game that I'm playing now. It's not the same situation where I looked at the market as a trading perspective, right? And all I looked for was longs and shorts, longs and shorts, longs and shorts until, well, pretty much long. And then in the bull market, longs. And then in the bear market, just short. Okay? Whether you come in, you enter in late in the shorts or whatever, shorts is short, bear market is bear market, bull market is bull market. You can't argue with that. Now, we don't know if this is a confirmed bull market. We don't know if this is going to repeat 2015 all over again. I don't know. If it does, great, happy days, let's go. If it doesn't, then we'll just play the range bound environment until this breaks out. But I do know one thing for sure. 2024 is the halving, right? 2024 is when we are looking for Bitcoin to be bullish. Bitcoin to be bullish, the market to be bullish, crypto, ETH to be bullish, everything to be bullish, right? That's what everyone is looking for. And I won't disagree with it as well. I'm with you with it. I played the bear market on the downside, and I played the bull market on the upside, in 2021. Now in this, so going back to what I wanted to say was, in 2020, I played it as a trader. 2022, 2023 now, we're in 2023. In 2023, I'm playing this very differently. I'm playing this as a trader and as an investor. Two different things. Most people are investors in this market. Most people aren't traders, which is fine, no problem. You can still make money as an investor. You can still make money as a trader, however you want to play. It's entirely up to you. Now, as always, this is not financial advice, but the way I see this now is that if we are bottoming it out, if we are having a bottom, if we are coming to a point where it's low, the low's in, we don't know. We don't really know until it's confirmed. Is it confirmed? We'll find out when we, reclaim 25, especially when we reclaim 28K. Then you can definitely say, yep, the low is in. Now, when you look at the market itself, right, we got a year left. Well, we're in February, right? So we got about 15 months. Sorry, that's wrong. 13 months before the halving, okay? So, are we going to enter consolidation just like we did in 2019 to 2020? Or are we going to have a breakout like we did in 2015 and break out the highs and keep going higher? That's the 2 point of the arguments here. Are we going to 12K? There's 3 scenarios. If you watch the weekly outlook, you'll understand I'm looking at 3 scenarios. On Bitcoin, I'm looking at 24.6K, which is July's high. If we break down from there, I'll short it back down to mid-range, down to range low, which is 18.6K. And after that, we'll see what happens next. The breakout play is like a breakout at 24K. Now, when it comes to the bull market, everyone talks about the bull market, right? In regards to 30K to 60K, 69K, or 64K, whatever you want to call it. Everyone talks about that. What do I mean by that? Let me just show it to you. So if I show you on the daily, right? Let me just bring this. You see my face right now. You don't want to see my face. Put it in the corner. Shove it over there. Let's just zoom out here. Everyone talks about the bull market. This bull market here. From here to there. That's the bull market everyone pretty much talks. 30K to 60K, which is a 2x. And that was 3 months worth of play, and 3 months of down play, then 3 months of up play, and then you got wrecked. Everyone talks about that, but no one talks about the fucking, from the lows over here. No one talks about that. You know, has any? I don't know if anyone's mentioned it. If they have, great. If they haven't, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say my piece on this. No one talks about this. I remember this really, really well. I was looking to short the market at this time. I was looking to short the market. That's the honest truth, right? This is the difference between me now and me 2-3 years ago. I'm not here to play. I'm here to actually play the game. I'm not here to play jokes and whatever and you know mess about. I'm here to actually play the market and focus on the market. Everything else is just noise itself. So when I look at the market itself, right, it's literally this. Now, back then when we had the COVID drop, bang, smashed it down there, right? I'm touching into BTC. I didn't really want to touch into BTC, but screw it, let's do it. Where's February's low? February's low is here. February's high there. Cool. This is a range band environment. This, is the whole range we played in till we had a breakout within February's range. Where we are right now, right? This is how it looks like. Pretty much exactly the same, right? We're around here. Do we spike up and then come back down, lower highs, and then play back down to range low into July's low where we are right now in this very moment in time? Do we do something like that, or do we do a breakout? I don't know. We've done the scenario. I'm not gonna go back into it. But like, look here. This is a range band environment. This always a range band. All we had was a deviation here, a deviation on the upside, a deviation here, and a deviation here. And once we broke out of these highs, that's your confirmation. Off you go. That's all it is. Simple. I'm trying to break it down as slowly as possible, and I hope you guys are following this as well. We're gonna go to alts in just a moment. I want to touch base on this as my learning experience, like what I've learned from my mistakes, to pass it on to you guys. At the end of the day, trading is like we all make mistakes. End of the day, you know, if we don't look at our mistakes and see what we've done wrong, we're never going to improve, right? Like we're here to learn. There's always ways for me to get better, and I don't think learning never stops. Like the saying goes, like you can learn, is it cradle to the grave? No. Learning to the edge of the knowledge? No. Learning to the grave? I don't know, some shit like that about learning and knowledge and grave and something like that. You can learn till you die, basically. That's the point. That's the learning to the grave, learning to the edge. What the fuck am I talking about? But you can always learn no matter what, right? So I'm going back, and literally this was what I was doing in the first week of January. First week of January, I was going back, looking back at my trades. I'm like, what did I do wrong? All right, journaling is really important, and if you journal, you can understand what you've done wrong. And I remember this really, really well. I was shorting this here. I was looking for shorts here. Let's just touch base on this, okay? This is on the daily. I'm not going on anything else. Just keep it on the daily. You see this high here? Right? Once we break out of this high, we had a clean bodily close above it, right? That was originally, this high here was capping as resistance. If you're supposed to be resistance, we want to see a breakdown, and then we can start looking for these lows here and these lows here as liquidity. But it changed, it flipped. What happened is that high itself, it broke market structure on the lower time frame, found support, pushes higher, runs these highs over here, comes back down as support off this SR point of view. And then it rallies up higher, pulls back, consolidates here a little bit, and rallies up higher into these areas there. Before it starts consolidating there, in this little area, you know, you can use like whatever, you know, even bullshit trend lines you want to use, whatever you want to use. And there you go, Bob's your uncle, breaks out, and off it goes. And it rallies up. But sorry about this, guys. But what I want to talk about, no one talks about the run from here. This was the start of the bull market. In crypto, BTC, alts, everything. Start the run. Across the board. No one talks about the run from 6k, which is around here. But let's say 5,800, let's say 6k for the sake of argument's sake. No one talks about the run from 6k to 60k, which is a 10x. Is Bitcoin going to do a 10x from like 20k? I don't know. I don't think so. If it does, happy days. We'll play it when the time comes. But you see what the difference is. I'm viewing this as a mind. I'm like, all right then, cool. So we start breaking market structure. We you know, like, it was bearish. I agree with you. It was bearish and whatnot. You know, we came back down and all that kind of stuff, right? Came back down over here, took out all these lows there, retest this area. This is the original consolidation that led the breakout. So this is the area of consolidation right over here. All we did, consolidation, breakout, retest, expansion. That's all we did. If you think about it, that's really what we did. Now, I'm just giving you another snapshot, another view of it. Having that in mind, right? Knowing that BTC did a fast drop, unexpected, pullback, disgustingly out of nowhere. What's going to happen now, right? And if I bought BTC or into alts at 6k and I wasn't shorting in at 6k, I would have been so up right now. But I didn't. So I'm looking like I was just playing the trade, just trading it along, doing short-term buys, short-term longs, mid-terms longs, like mid-term longs, like buying and longing and whatever, and just letting that consolidation period. We know, right? There's so many examples, right? And like I think it's really important that we just take a moment of this just to think about. There were so many examples that you can look at some of these alts. If you'd held through it, right, during the consolidation period, and does the breakout, that's a whole different story. For example, let's just open up cryptocurrency CMC market, right? I'm gonna open that up, right? Let's have a look at BNB, right? I'm just gonna literally just open this up, and I'm just gonna run through these a little bit, just so you can understand what I'm looking. So you understand what I'm trying to see, what I'm trying to do. It's a very different thing I'm doing. You see this? We had consolidation all over here. Then we had a breakout and blast off. So for those who actually bought BNB at the highs in 2018 at $22, if they held through it, they would have gone to $600. Obviously, take your profits 100%. But you're looking at going up to $600 from $20 to going to $600. That's what, Jesus, 30x on BNB, and that's a major. So you know what I mean? Like that. Okay, now you're thinking about $1,000 and this and that, whatever. Like that's a whole different story. We can talk about profit taking and whatever. But what I'm trying to explain to you is the bull run is that the consolidation period is what's in the internet. There's something really strange with this. I don't know what's going on. There's something really strange. I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on. For some reason, something's going really, really strange. So you can see the internet speed, 231 megabytes, 40 megabytes upload as well. The ping, it's at latency 6 milliseconds as well. So I don't know why it does disconnect when it comes to what you call it? Yeah. I'm looking at the Discord right now. Crypto Penguin, you're a funny lad, you are. You're a funny geezer. Yeah, I don't know why this happens, but anyway, I kind of lost my mojo, but we can get back onto it. So I'm looking at it as a very different kind of gameplay where I'm looking to hold more than I'm actually gonna buy. Am I gonna play the bull run for 3 months? I mean, like, is that gonna really make you $1 million? Maybe, degens and stuff like that, but we all know, we've seen coins like Solana. I'll show you Solana. Solana was an interesting one, right? I remember I was being told by Solana, which I didn't buy in. I didn't buy into Solana, but I was told at Solana at $1, right? There was a girl I remember really, really well. She was saying, "Yo, buy Solana at $1," and obviously it rallied away to $250. We got a member in the group called Bon Biggie. Shout out to Bon Biggie. He bought Solana at 136 and he got out around 225, I think, something like that he was saying. So he made a massive, and all he did, he just held through it. So I'm playing that kind of game where I'm an investor and I'm also playing the game as a trader. I need to separate the two from one another. That's all it is. It's not easy to do it the first time. I couldn't do it in the first last run, and which is why I'm able to do it this run. It's a different game now. So I mean, like, we got into some dirt cheap coin, DMTR. We said it in the Discord, 3 cents. That 3 cents we talked about it. Next day, it was all over Twitter, and then it rallied up. It rallied up to 5 cents. Stuff like that. I'm still holding that. I'm still holding DMTR, and just playing up there. I'm in profit anyway on DMTR. So we'll see what happens. But there's a bunch of things like Apex. Apex, like us in the DCC, we got in at 30 cents. 30 cents, and what Apex right now is sitting on what? It's pullback, still range banding. I'm accumulating, but we'll talk about Apex in a bit and a bunch of other tokens. But let's get back to work, right? So the work that we need to talk about is Total 2, right? So Total 2 is the important thing. If you guys recall, let me just open up Twitter for a second. I'm gonna have to show you the tweet itself, so you guys do know that I wasn't talking shit. Give me a second there, guys. It's somewhere in January. It was in January, like early January itself. And this is when I was like, okay, we need to start looking at what alts is doing. And February, oh fuck's sake, I should have done this. So sorry about this, guys. Otherwise, who do we have here, man? We got Starsky, Touche. What's going on? Oh, Touche is my guy, freaking Irish brother as well. The First time I heard him today in the country club as well, and he's a top lad, top lad. He sounds like Conor McGregor, man. I think they're cousins or something. Bless him as well. Got Mr. M, Guna in the house. Car, how you doing, my bro? Everyone doing all right? It's been a very whoops. Trying to do two things on one thing. Who else we got? We got whoops, a lot of people there. Let me scroll back up. Got Nando in the house. We got John Caboose, Crypto Cruz. What you saying, my bro? We got Cryptique. Hey, how's it going? Unlucky CS, Starsky, Hugh Janus. We got Bomb Biggie, Stanley Badass. How you doing, my brother? Cars in the house. Yeah, I do apologize. It was cutting in and out and whatnot. We're getting close to the tweet, I believe. Ball Windows in the house. We got JL here. Madcap Pat. It's good to have you here. Double R. Shaq A. Walaikum Salam and Ken. And we got a lot more people coming in. Solana's pulled back. We're still going to 160. Solana 160. What do you mean 160? 160 in what way? Matic. We'll talk about Matic as well. Don't worry about that, brother. We'll talk about Matic soon as well. Just give me a second. I just need to find this one little chart here. Just one little chart. There is a chart here somewhere. Just to like reiterate my view. So that's it. Here we go. That's it. 3rd of January. 3rd of January. This is when I posted there. I'm not making this up there. You can see it literally here, right there. If anyone thinks like, yeah, I'm just bandwagoning, nah, it really wasn't. The group wasn't. We actually was playing it quite well. 3rd of January is right here. Right, this is when it happened, and it's in the UK time 1:15. And this is literally the tweet off my freaking phone. Damn. I was saying that we had a consolidation. If we break out, if we break out of here, hold it, run into this. This low is quite important, right? Previous all-time high. Hold it, run it into these highs there. Once we run these highs there, I can run into this area there, and we're looking for the macro range low. Right, we can touch base on that in just a second. So you guys can see we're looking at that kind of play. And then what happened was, just a recap. That becomes the range. Look what happened. We hold support over here, run it into these. This is range low. This is July's low. July's high. That's the mid range. We run it to these highs, and what did I say? Hold above it, run it into the mid range. The next plan is once we hold the mid range and whatnot shows bullish price action, let's run it to the range highs. Take out these highs over there, and it's just interesting. This high over here is actually the macro range low, which we'll talk about in just a second now. Everyone with me right now? Alright, you in Trader XO, but he's bearish and you're bullish. It gets up. You know what? Everyone's got their view. Everyone's got their view. Some people are bullish and some are bearish. For me, really, I'm playing this like I said to you. I'm literally just looking at this as an investor's point of view. When I say as an investor's point of view, I'm not buying in with a full bag. Let's say if my bag is $5,000 or something, I'm not going to go in with $5,000 or $1,000. Like if my bag that I'm happy to go in with $1,000, for example, I'm not going to go in with 1,000 or 5,000. I'm going to go in, like at the moment, I'll be honest with you, a third of my position. So if I'm looking at 5K, I've got in about $1,500 about $1,500 is what I put in. So at least if it does run, I don't miss the run. If he pulls back, I can start DCA. DCAing right now is the most important. To me, now is the time I would like to DCA. Not freaking at the very beginning of 2022. That wasn't the time to DCA when they were talking about this. I even mentioned it in January 2026, right here. Remember, scooping altcoins during this year will increase the probability of getting those 100x, but those will come in 2024. We'll looking to buy. We'll believe it's 100x, but in reality, you're already 10x up. There'll be bag holding, and you'll be saying 10x from that point. Be smart, take your profits, don't get greedy. As simple as that. That's all. As long as you can keep focus and keep your restraint in order, in check, you'll be fine. That's all it is. Now, let's look at Total 2. What Total 2 is telling us, right? So if I look at this, right, I can look at this over here as a daily, and I can say, all right, we need to, like, this one is very different. So, like normally on my weekly outlooks, I look at dollar index, ES, and whatever. This time, it's just looking at Total 2. The reason why I'm looking at Total 2, and this stream really is an introduction to the rest of the stream, because I'm not going to end up repeating it, because I don't want to be like I'm just hassling you on the same crap when you guys already know. Well, you would learn it as you go along anyway. But when you look at it this way, is that I'm looking for the basics, right, to actually have to play on. So what I mean by that is Total 2 is the basics to me. This includes everything, like all your alts and Ethereum, except BTC. And the reason why I choose Total 2 and not Total 3, you can choose either, it doesn't really matter. I'm using Total 2. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm using Total 2. The reason why I'm using Total 2 is because in a bull run, it's Ethereum that actually drags the whole market on the upside. So when you will see Ethereum outdo BTC. When you look at eBTC chart, you see Ethereum look very, very bullish. BTC is bullish, Ethereum is bullish, but what do I mean by that? If you look at the percentage change, right, of the day or the time frame, you would see that Ethereum goes higher, like has a more of an increased percentage change compared to BTC, and that means money is flowing from BTC to Ethereum, Ethereum to alts. That's the basic understanding behind it. So if I'm looking at total 2, I need to find a range. I always say to you guys, price is always in a range. How's it going, Paul? Good to have you here, man. Afternoon to you too, my brother. Marion, we got Marion Dankovsky. How you doing there? So we're looking at a range. What is the range band environment? Okay, so literally it is, right, I can see this low here is a key low, and this high here is a key high. Why do I use these lows and highs? It's a range band environment. All I can see right here, support, this high here, act as resistance, get back up, do a deviation, we'll come back down, we'll test it underneath it as resistance, lose this level there, bearish market structure, taking out these lows there, come into the mid-range, do a bit of a deviation, run these as a deviation, come back down low, and come back into range low. We find support here, lost this level there, do a deviation, we'll step back into it. Then we then lose that range low. We come back, retest it, sells off. Retest it again, sells off. We're approaching that key level. That's a macro key level. So I'm very cautious going into alts. So which means we've been playing alts pretty much, if you look at it this way, from where's that key low? From here, right? That's what we're approaching it. As we can zoom in. Let me just do that. There we go. Happy days. So the key low to me is here. We are approaching, and you can see, you see how we're making lower highs over there. So it's starting to sell off there. This is highs there. It's double top there. We're looking like we're taking these double tops out. You know, that's all we're doing. And what happens next? Do we actually break down, sell off? That's possible. We start taking profits and whatnot. I will definitely start looking profits there. If I take in profits and then we reclaim this level there, show bullishness, I can say, yeah, you know what? I can get in. I can always get back in. It's not a big deal. Take the profits. We played it early, and that's what it is. So if you think about it this way, I've been playing alts from over here, from right over here to all the way there. You know, it's been a really good move. A lot of I think and those who are bearish have very, very good solid reason to be bearish. I'm not disagreeing with them. Like BTC is, to me, is a trading point of view. I'm not gonna buy BTC. I'm not gonna buy and hodl BTC. Same as Ethereum. I won't buy and hodl Ethereum. I'll buy Ethereum because I need gas. You know what I mean? For those who know what I'm talking about, you need gas. And trust me, Ethereum during the bull market is freaking expensive. I remember one time I saw a gas fee for like $6,000. I'm like, I'm not selling. I'm hodling. Eventually, I had to sell. I think the gas fees went to like I think it was the gas fee was $6,000. And by the time I saw the price breaking down, I'm like, oh shit, this is not good, innit? And I saw that the gas fees was like $6,400. I said I had no choice but to sell it, which is expensive, really, really freaking expensive. But that's the market for you. You know, when there's little signs out there, you know, that will show you. You know, when you see, like, do you remember those girls that were singing? I was telling the guys in the DC, those girls who were singing and rapping with the Bitcoin ring, and they were quite dead when they were talking, when they were singing. And we've seen some of these rappers out there who are actually quite good, who are really, really good at what they do, who has bars and they got a flow. But you know them ones who just wants to rhyme, you know, they're funny as well. But like, it was all entertainment, but there's top signals, you know. There was one Vitalik selling, you know, selling his SHIB to donate, you know, to donate to charity. These were top signals. We were all thinking at the time, like, yo, Vitalik is actually giving money out. Like, that's bullish, you know, like, he's got bare P's. But in reality, what did he do to price? How's it going to affect price? Because you're taking money from crypto and putting it into USD or whatever value of currency there was. Like, I don't know, I think it was in India, so Indian rupees. So you're changing that. So you're selling crypto, and that's going to have a knock-on effect on price. It's going to have a knock-on effect on price. I think it was 500,000, some shit like that. So he moved the price down. Then shortly afterwards, you had you had Elon Musk saying no Bitcoin for Teslas, and then shortly afterwards, China FUD, and then bang. We haven't had the China FUD for a long time, but they're fun. But afternoon, Spraffers, how you doing, man? Good to have you here, my brother. So literally, that's the view I'm looking at. So, like, however any other trader wants to look at it this way, or whatever they want to look at it, that's entirely their view. Everyone has their view. I have my view. You have your view. For me right now, I'm happy to invest. I'm happy to start buying into hodl bags and hold this out. You know, like, what if I find the next Luna? Well, no, that's a bad example. That's fucked up. Sorry, guys. But you know what I mean? Like, Luna blew up, you know, like 30 cents to like to $100. What if Apex is that next Luna? I don't know. If it is, happy days. I'm laughing because I bought it at 30 cents. So if it does go to someone like, you know, like they say, oh yeah, don't look at like crazy numbers like $3,000 and what, like, sorry, $3,000, like $100. I'm not looking at $100. I'm looking at 100x from where I bought, which is 30 cents. I'm looking for $30. If it comes $30, I've made 100x. 100x on that. It's you get the point. There's many of those ones that I'm placing myself in a very smart value. So you can trade this however you want. You want to trade this as an investor? By all means. Want to trade this as a trader? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it, man. So really and truly, this is the plan. This is the bullet. This is when I can say, yeah, we are very bullish. Why this line here? This is coincidentally, people think, oh, Daink is drawing lines, right? No, I draw lines because I know where certain things are looking for, and it just so happens if I just hold this line here, watch this, go across, goes into this high here. What is that high? That's July's high. So a reclaim of July's high, blast above it, off we go. You're gonna have to be bullish, whether you're bearish. So it doesn't matter what like, you know, that's the plan, that's the breakout, that's the confirmation play for me to say, yeah, let's go. Right now, I've been into alts, and whenever I'm playing the Luna blew up the wrong way. Crypto Penguin. Shout out to Penguin. Do you know what? Penguin's a fucking geezer. He's a proper top lad. Smart as fuck, man. I've not met like a lad like this. Really sharp, very, very sharp geezer as well. So shout out to Penguin. If you got a thingy at Twitter, post it in the comment section, and I'll thingy. Is he cracking up? Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I'm having that little bullshit issue for a little while now. The thing is, this is a freaking expensive mic. Sorry about this, guys. Just a quick question. The guys in the DCC, does it crack up for you guys in DCC? Or is it just cracking up only on YouTube? Because I do feel like there's some forces that, like, some like unforeseen forces actually fucking me up a little bit here. Anyway, going back into it, someone in some interference or something not major, just sorry about that. But thank you, Chuck. I will definitely have a look into that as well. Really appreciate that, brother. So yeah, that's for me to actually go bullish. So looking at what the price is. Do you remember I showed you this? Where was it? Remember I showed, oh fuck it, I missed it now. I'm not gonna find it no more. I showed you July's low. So where's July's low? July's low is, let's choose no, July's low is here. July's low is here. So we've got two ranges. Remember the macro range? I'm going to narrow this down to another range. This is the range low, and range high is the July's high. Range high is here. Mid-range comes in about somewhere around here, around there. And as you can see, from a range band perspective, right, if you're looking at a range band environment with broken market structure, we came into the mid-range. Once we reclaim and hold above the mid-range, as long as we hold this mid-range over here, we can shoot up to the range high. This level here is actually the macro range high. So when I'll be looking taking profits, it'll be somewhere around here, and if we squeeze up, take some profits over there. If we start breaking down, start cutting the trade. If you break up on the upside, start adding on. Hold the trade, sorry, not adding on. Or start looking at other alts and start anticipating what's going on. Because July's range is really, really important. I'm going to touch base on why July's range, because it comes across a lot of places. Okay, so that's the gist of it, right? That's pretty much the gist of it that we're looking at. So hopefully that helps you out. Put up my levels, there you go. That's all it is. So all I'm looking for is pretty much as a target. If I were to look for a target, I know I'm talking about this quite a lot. I do apologize for that, but it's for your own benefit. Trust me, it's not for me. I don't really need to do this because I know what I'm looking at the moment. So like I know how my mind is working, but I'm breaking this down for you guys to understand what I'm looking at, so you guys can actually follow me through. And if you guys disagree, by all means, just tell me what the deal is. Clear in the DCC. Thank you, Sarsky. So it's something on YouTube then. But yeah, like if it's clear for me, like I wanted to make it clear for you guys, so you guys can actually join in as well. If it's like you don't have to buy in. I'm not saying to anyone buy. I'm not telling anyone to buy at all. It's entirely up to you when you want to buy. The confirmation really and truly is once we take out these highs, yeah, above 700 billion, and we do something like this, then yeah, this, you have to agree it's bullish. That's when you'll be like, all right then, time to buy. No one can disagree with that. But around here, like if you want to start to hodl bag, because we can come into here and start breaking down. I don't know, anything can happen. We could pop up and do something like that, and I'm happy to start cutting the trades. Or we could actually come into here and do that and start breaking down, and that's a bearish market structure, and off we go. But I got my eyes over here, I got my eyes in the mid-range, so at the moment, literally I'm focusing within this area here, and pretty much this as an extended target to see how we go level to level. Everyone with me? Cool? So that's it. Now, If I were to narrow this down a little bit more narrower on the 4 hours, on the 4 hours itself, you can start to see market structure is still bullish, pretty bullish. You won't want to phase a channel like this. You can see support is over here. So this is the low. We find support, find support, find support, find support, we find support, we keep finding support. Eventually it's going to break down. I don't know when. Is it going to break down? It could eventually break down like here. We could actually rally up to here and then do something like this and then break down and then play it back to the mid-range back down to the range low. Possibly, I don't know. But I'm watching this out there on the 4 hours. But what's interesting there, I want to show you something quite interesting there on the smaller time frame. I don't like doing this in the smaller time frame, but look at this. This is where I get very anal. I get very anal when it comes to this kind of stuff, you know, because I like looking at what price action is doing and trying to monitor what's going on. So what we got here, right? Literally, see this high here? That's what's capping the market. So we got a bit of a range bound environment right here. Can you see that? That's really is the range bound environment. Everyone follow me there. We've come into, every time we come to support, we hold it, we rally up to range high. Come back down, deviation, 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 but we still hold above it, take out these highs there, bullish market structure, play up into the range high, and come back down to range low. Now what's going on over here? Let me delete all this stuff, and let's just focus on this particular area here. It's showing me bullish market structure. Why? Because this is the high that was capping the market. Got resistance here, we come back down for a pullback, and we rally up, find support as long as we hold above it, reclaim this area there. What we're looking for to go into these areas here, that'll be target 1, and then that'll be target 2 right into here, and then target 3 will be the highs over there, and that's it. And if it starts breaking down, you can play the shorts back down, or vice versa on total. Just monitor your alts on a smaller time frame. Does that make sense there? Might be the phone. I think it helped move in a bit earlier. Oh, sorry about this. Let me just move this over here. Sorry. It could be the phone. It could be my phone because I've got that as a... Cool. Hopefully that makes a little bit of a difference there. I do apologize for that. But that's really it. And if we were to break out on the upside, okay, let's break it up on the upside. So, for example, this is the highs and this is the lows, what we're talking about. Range bound environment. We break out on the upside. What we're looking for, 75% of the range of July's range. And then we're looking for that macro range low. And then possibly July's high. If it breaks down, no problem. Let it do its thing. Once it loses its low there, that's holding support at the moment. Finds resistance or as a retest. It doesn't have to come back over here, but as a retest, that's enough for me to play it back down for shorts into the mid-range. And then we'll see vice versa what's going on. That's pretty much the range bound environment. As long as BTC behaves, right? And I think it is behaving, right? I think it is behaving. We talked about it in the morning. It's in Monday's range, so we're playing in the other thing on Monday's range itself. It's a whole different story, but I think it's behaving. As long as it behaves, it's all good. So let's just touch base on a couple of alts itself, right? Because I have spoken for a bit too long, and I do want to actually touch base on alts so you guys can actually get on to see what's going on, what I'm looking at. Right? Cool. Let's have a look at 250. Right. Bless. Let's just touch base on alts. Macro. Let's look at the macro level. What do we have here? We have Matic. Matic here is a very interesting one, which I'm actually in personally myself. I bought some in, and I'm looking for targets at 150, right? At 160, 159, 160 is the mid-range, right? And then what happens after? Do we break down? It's a whole different story. But let's just break down the chart itself so you guys can understand what I'm looking at. So what we got here, let me just move that here. That's it. Cool. Oops. Just move this right there so at least you can see the whole shebang. What we got here, right? Let me delete this for a second. And just keep this nice and focused and nice and simple. I got a range low, and I got a range high. We got a deviation, right? Come back up, resistance, deviation, resistance. Comes back in, comes back down, deviation, support, 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 support over here. So that's a very key low. And we never lost this low. If we lost this low, what we're looking for, lower prices here, 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 and whatnot. Playing into this, playing it down on the downside, right? But we never did. So as long as we hold the support on range low, we're looking to go back into the range high. But in reality, we had a range bound environment here. What was that range bound environment? Let me bring up the Fibonacci right there. It's literally this. From this range high to this range low over here. Support, resistance, deviation. Deviation, support, support, run it to highs, big deviation, play it back down to range low. Right? From the range low, we held it, go back up to the range high. So you'll be taking profits at each section. And then what we had a breakout into the 25% of the range of this macro range itself. And then we run into these highs now. What's interesting now is that if we hold this high there and he pull back and whatnot, which we've already done so, keep showing the bullish price action there. I'm looking to go run into the mid-range at $1.60. After $1.60, what happens next? If we start breaking down, cut the trade, take your profits obviously, because mid-range is always going to be a reactionary area. Take your profits, you start breaking down, cut the trade, let it play back down. Do we come back for a retest into maybe this high over here, and then or 25% of range, or do we come back into the retest of the original consolidation, which happened for God knows how long? This was like from July's range. Well, it's not really July's range, because July's low was somewhere around here. This is July's low, that's July's high. We held above the mid-range. So this is the main consolidation. Do we come back into there and then have a retest and then blast off? I don't know. Back to the mid-range, then reclaim and go to range high. We'll work it out level to level. But that's the pullback, or what happens in the mid-range. But what if we are going to be bullish, right? And just like we played from low, high to low, low to high, high to low. Why can't we play low to high? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like in terms of what happens with keeping in mind a total 2 as well. In total 2, if we hit July's high in total 2, at the same time Matic comes into mid range, we're gonna have to take some reaction. You're gonna have to take some profits. It's more reason why to take profits, right? So Wax is saying, why you're shilling stable? Did you purchase? Yeah, I got an IDO. I posted it on there when I got into IDO. So I'm up 2x anyway. So that's why I'm just. I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to say, to be honest. If I'm making, like, I don't understand. Like, why are you asking me why I'm shilling the stables? I'm actually got into purchasing an IDO. So what can you say? Anyway. Let's carry on though. So yeah, so we're saying into yeah. I mean, like, why am I shilling Matic? Because I'm in Matic, you know. You don't have to buy Matic if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. This is all my plans. This is all my ideas. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Obviously, you know, I'm gonna have to say this now. Nothing's financial advice. It's all entirely up to you. I'm using YouTube, this platform, as my own journal, as my own thing. And you guys are entirely up to, you know, free to do whatever you feel like to do. No one's stopping you to invest. And if you do invest, you know, seek financial advice. And if you are going to invest, make sure you do take profits. It's really important to take profits. You can't go wrong with taking profits. There are trades that you can, you know, there's going to hit a loss. I've done some trades where I've taken a loss on that. That's my responsibility. Nothing to do with you guys, obviously. So as long as you take precautions and you mitigate your losses and you manage your risk and whatever, you guys should all be fine. Just play this like one step at a time. Remember, I said this on the tweet and I've said this to you guys. This is a marathon, not a fucking 100-meter race. There's a lot of things that's going to happen and a lot of time. Remember, 2023, we've got the whole year to go. We've got 10 months of 2023. We've also got 2024 to go into, where the halving is, and then after the halving we're going to expect bullish momentum as well. 2025 we expect probably retail to come in, probably, so which we have about 2 years to play. If this is accumulation to go back down and we accumulate over here, no problem, we'll accumulate. I'm happy to accumulate. So I'm just playing this as two sides, as an investor and as a trader. That's a very different and a new thing for me as well. So I'm going to try my best to actually, you know, really separate the two and not have a bias of investing and not have a bias of trading as well. It's going to be straight down the middle and it's like quite fair. That's my thingy. That's my view on it. All right. Even Paul made some profits. I think, did you get into IDO as well? Because it was all public as well. There was 500k worth of IDO. So take profits on it's on Notch, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take profits on Notch. Like, and especially 2x up, you have to take something off the table at least your initial investment, and let the rest run if you want to the rest run. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, trading is not the same as shilling, and everyone's got their own opinion. It doesn't really matter too much. What matters is how we play the market as it is. Those who focus onto it actually will do well. You focus on too many things and not really, you're not really grinding as you should be grinding towards, you know, your goals, and you're distracted. It's gonna haunt you. But anyway, that's pretty much Matic. You know, like if I were to drop it down, you see this is like, now you see this block over here. This is the last up candle, which sent the market back down, and all we did, we came back for a retest, come back, and keep bouncing off it in there, and then we break above it and hold into it. So as long as this box holds, I'm quite happy for it to go up to 160. It's not a bad trade, to be honest, if you think about it. You know, it's not a really bad trade if he does something like that, let it do his thing, breaks out of these highs there, holds above it, off we go, 160. That's it, and then we'll see what's next. Next one, let's have a look at another one. Alice. Alice is one that I showed on Twitter, right? It's actually at my entry there because I got it at 1.97. That's when I actually bought in. So Alice on this one, I'm using this one as a range here. What I've got here, I'm using a swing high and a swing low. Okay. Can I use July's? You can use July's low, not July, June, July. You know what? You could, and it doesn't really matter too much. But this is Alice for me. What I've got here, got a swing low from this low here. Oops, get a pen. That's the swing low, and that's the swing high. Find resistance, come back down, find support, come back up to the mid range, deviation, back into the mid range, do a bigger deviation, nearly touched there, got rejected off in all the block on a small time frame, back down to range low, support, then we lost it, resistance with a stop run, and then we come back down and we start making lower lows and whatever, and we start holding. Is this the bottom? Is it bottoming out? I don't know. It could well be. I don't know. We'll find out once we reclaim this level and go above $3.30. Then we can say, yeah, that is the bottom. I don't know. I don't really know, but we'll have to see, monitor it as it is step by step. So what happened was, right, I started seeing this, right, when I was looking at this, right. So I'm just gonna literally have a look at that. So we got bullish market structure all the way through. You know, like you can lean bearish and whatnot, and you know, if I was to be bearish, how would I be playing bearish play? Well, this was my bearish view. This literally was my bearish view if I had as a bearish plan. I'll share it with you guys. Actually, I don't mind sharing stuff to you. So you guys won't be able to see the bottom of the trend line, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is how this looks like. Okay, so this is exactly how it looks like, right? That's the. Let me show you that. I hide my face. Can you see that? So what we got here at the very bottom, support all over here, a little bit of a deviation, and we rally up. So if I want to be bearish, how do I do this? We're coming against range, a macro range low. I agree with that. So if we start breaking down, lose the trend line, I can just look for shorts on the downside. What happened was, as we discussed, we found resistance, we come back down, and this is now we're finding resistance. Eventually, this is going to be broken up, and once we break above it and hold above it, we're going to go up into the range band environment and play within the range band environment. So, yeah, so what I'm looking at is this. I was looking at this, right? I'm like, do I have a trend line here? I'm like, yeah, I do have a trend line and whatnot. And at that time, right here, right, I saw this come up into here, come back down. I'm like, okay, maybe it is going to set up for a short itself. I didn't get into any shorts. I'm just going to play this as it comes level to level. So delete that. Then I drew this trend line. I'm like, if I want to enter in a short, how would I enter in a short? It will have to be something like this now, right? Let it come back into here. What am I looking for? I'm looking for like this area consolidation right over here. I need to see this to come back down, resistance, break down. This is now my confirmation. Oops. This is now my confirmation to take the shorts. Invalidations here. I can keep an aggressive stop loss here, playing it back down, level to level. That's all it is. Does that make sense? And that's what I was looking for. Then I was like, yo, this motherfucker right here is not breaking down. It's actually doing the complete opposite of what I was looking for, a short. Right? I have my plan. I sit down. I wait. If it triggers, it triggers and I execute it. If it doesn't trigger, I flip the whole scenario around. And this is what happened. When I saw this close here, I'm like, yikes. Alright, cool. I saw that. I'm like, this was late at night. And we popped up, I think at 197. I was like, alright, cool. Maybe it's a deviation. I literally thinking maybe it's a deviation, right? It's a deviation, right? Like maybe it runs at this stop. And it did. It run the stops there. I want to see price come back down below here. And then I can take the shorts. It didn't. It started rallying up there. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going in on 197. I'm going in. Because it looks like now we're going to run these highs there. And if we run these highs there, the probability is now increased that this is going to now hold a support. Because as you can see now, I entered at 197, had a bit of a drawdown. Yeah, I was in profit a little bit. Didn't take any profits there. But I had a bit of a drawdown. And look where it bounced off this consolidation right there. Coincidental. So, if I want to look to actually enter in, how do I enter in on Alice? It will be something like this. I can use this as a yeah, something like that. I can use this. I don't see why not. And then what's the pivot for me? It's this high here. That's capping the market, as you can see. You can find support here, support here, support here. Lost that resistance. So if we do come back into it, we can find resistance and break back down. Once we reclaim and hold above it, bullish market structure. That's my confirmation. Off you go. Bob's your motherfucking uncle. 25% in the range. Take some profits over there. Look at to go to the mid range at $2.60, and we play it level to level. And all it is, all I'll be looking for is something like this. something like this. Let it do its thing, right? Once we hold above it, play it back into here, back into the mid-range, from the mid-range, right? Let's say something like that. No, so yeah, something like that. Cool. Play it into the mid-range. Let the chop in the mid-range happens. Once we show bullishness, play back to 75% range, and then to the range high. And that's it. Take profits at each level to level play. If it starts breaking down from the mid-range, cut the trade. You know, take the profits and walk away. And we'll come back to it afterwards. Is this a long-term hodl for me? No, not really. All right. Does that make a bit of sense to everyone? That's literally what I'm looking at. Like thingy. What do you call it? Ah, bless you, thingy. Paul. Glad that you actually got into IDO. So that's what I'm looking at. Looking at some of these things, some of these coins. What's that? Can I look at XRP? Let's fuck it. Let's do XRP. Actually, before I do XRP, can I do BNB? I just want to show you BNB quickly, right? And I just want to show you something before you carry on, right? Then you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, if I go on the 4 hours, I want to stick to the 4 hours. Okay. What we got here? See this orange line, this purple line, right? This is July's range. Some of them is broken. Some alts has broken out of July's range. Some of them is within July's range. For example, Link. I'll touch base on Link in just a moment. So, and then I'll do XRP. So what we got here is a range band environment. What we got, you can see this is July's low, July's high, deviation. We found support at the mid range, deviation. Run these highs, come into this order block over there, found support over there, rally into the mid range, and here is when I took the long. When we did a breakout right over here, I took the long and I played it in the weekly range. I think the weekly range was around here, and we spiked up, hold support, and really and truly, if I look at it this way, it looks like it's breaking out on July's high. Because what we've got now is, let me delete all this stuff. What we got here, consolidation, loads of deviation. Is this a deviation? I don't know, but really and truly, if it was to hold this level here, right? Because as you can see, that level there was acting as resistance, break above it, support. As long as we hold support, and then if we do reclaim this, that's my confirmation for me to go long, run it to these highs. Let's go for higher prices. Let's go for higher prices. We're going to talk about this in more in depth, but that's the way I'll be looking for it. Now, if I want to go for shorts, I need to see some confirmation. How do I enter in? Let it do its thing. Find support over here. Let it bounce off there. Will I enter shorts? You can enter shorts with an invalidation over here. But once I step back into here, finds bearish price action, take the shorts, play it back down to the mid-range, and then we take out liquidity at July's low. I don't know. That's a possibility. That's the way I'll be looking at BNB. So I'll be monitoring total too. Does that make sense? XRP. Let's do XRP now. Where's XRP? Right here. Now XRP, we've got a massive range band environment here, right? And I want to touch base with this with all of you guys there. Consolidation upon consolidation. This is what it is. This is the macro range of the whole consolidation. This is September of 2018's high, September of 2018's low. That whole freaking month has been the goddamn consolidation there. It's been the whole thing that where price is stuck at. We are stuck right between from the low to the mid. That's where we're focusing. We can focus in there. But I also want to touch base is that you see this area here, which I called it the accumulation zone. This is from the 2019 or the 2020 when we actually had this accumulation itself. Then we had a breakout, pull back, shanked up, and that was it. Expansion on the upside, and then it came obviously whatever the mess is. Now I know there's a court case with XRP, PHP. Yes, Nando, I'll definitely have a look at that for you, brother. I know there's a court case with XRP that's going on. They're looking that it's gonna end. They're saying, well, they've been saying that for God knows how long. Actually, give me a second. Let me close the door. I'm gonna have a cigarette. I don't like cigarettes going into the house. You know what I'm saying? So, there we go. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Talking about XRP. Yeah, XRP. So I know there's a court case going on with XRP. Now, does it like? Are we gonna win? I don't know. I really don't know. None of us is God. None of us knows any hocus pocus magician shit. So we're just gonna. What's going on, thingy? Morningstar, how you doing, brother? Appreciate that, Curtis. You're a big man. Appreciate you. Curtis is a cool guy. Really cool guy. The guy's got one of the baddest views I've ever seen in Dubai. Gangster view. Bless him as well. Anyway, back into XRP. So there's a court case going on with XRP. They've been saying that it's gonna end. Judge's gonna throw it out. Judge's gonna bruv. We've said it, man. Like, you're spinning the same record over and over again. Just tell us when it's fucking over, so we can blow out. Now, let's just say, and I was reading on a report, right, on XRP. So they were talking about how. Let me just talk to you guys there. I was looking at a report on XRP, right? Like the news shit and whatnot, and you just read it up there. I'm not an expert on courts and stuff like that. Maybe a lawyer can help me out on that. But really and truly, I was looking at it and I was like, they're saying that they're coming out quite openly that the SEC don't really have a case against them. They don't really have, they're coming to the end of the gunpowder, and they don't have any more gunpowder to actually, to delay this whole thing. This court case has been going on for a long freaking time, for years, bruv. You know what I'm saying? So now, what's happening now is they saying that, the judge's gonna they're gonna run it to a judge, and the judge's gonna throw it away. But what if the judge doesn't throw it away? If the judge doesn't throw it away, XRP range bounds, nothing happens, no breakout. No one's gonna buy XRP because it's under a court case, right? No one's gonna invest. No one's really gonna invest on a project where there's actually an ongoing investigation going on, right? It's like imagine. You don't need to imagine it. You can actually notice O.J. Simpson, right? You can see O.J. Simpson. Now O.J. Simpson, right? Those in the sporting world are massive fans of him, right? So he American footballer, right? And there was a whole thingy, the whole case of him actually, killing his wife. Sports fan are on his side. They say, yeah, he never did it. Non-sports fans are saying he did do it. He killed his wife. Right? This is really dark that I'm actually bringing this up on here. I don't mean to ruin anyone, but it's not to chuckle about someone who passed away, but it's an example that came to my head. I'm just literally just sharing it with you. But it's an example that you guys can see that you're gonna have people who are going to say, and until this day, people are still saying that he did it. I don't know. I really don't know. The judge ruled him that, I think, did he rule him as innocent or something? Or, I don't know. I didn't really. I don't know. But with the XRP situation, XRP fans and Ripple themselves are turning around and say, yeah, they're gonna throw it away. But what if the judge decides to actually delay the whole thing a lot more? SEC comes out with something. I don't know. Something can happen. But however, let's talk about the flip side. Let's just say that XRP Ripple wins the case. What happens next? Isn't Ripple gonna surge? I'm not saying $500. It's gonna play within the range that we showed. But isn't Ripple gonna actually surge to and could it be the catalyst to blow the market out of proportion, to do a 2015 all over again? Is that gonna be the catalyst? I don't know. I'm just giving out ideas. You guys can actually think for yourself and take what you think that's right. You might disagree with me. Absolutely. That's the beauty about having an opinion. You guys all are entitled to an opinion, to have it as well. And if you guys think I'm wrong, by all means, share it with me. But if XRP wins the case, be it next month, the month after, June, July, maybe end of the year, I don't know, whenever it's going to be, isn't that going to really rally the market on the upside? And when it rallies the market on the upside, would you be bothered about saying, oh no, this and that, alts this, alts that? You'd be looking at where you can actually place your bags. It's not too late to enter in. The thing is, right, I'm not saying buy, but play as an investor. I'm playing as an investor personally. I'm generally playing as an investor. I got powder. I'm using my powder wisely. I just found out yesterday I found out I got more powder than I actually expected, which is a massive blessing for me as well. But again, I got powder to use, and all it is just play the market as it is. I'm gonna do PHP, and I'm gonna. What time is it now? We've been doing it for like an hour, so let's do PHP, and I'll see if I can do one more for car. All right, PHP USDT, because I know there was a number of them that. Wow. Now let me see if I can get a coin. USD, with more data. I want more data. You know what I'm saying? When I got more data, I can actually. That's better. Now I got. Damn, son! Imagine holding this. From fucking even at 1 cent, you held it at 1 cent, and you sort of damn boy. investors mentality. You know what I'm saying? This is all showing you a different perspective. And having an investor's mentality changes everything. All you gotta do is hold it out. If you can hold it out, hold it out. I understand everyone's position is very different. Some people can't hold it out because they got bills to pay, or some people are just impatient. But those who played it early in 2020, 2021, or mid 2021, you go back to the charts and have a look. So, looking at this, what do we have? Let's just have a look. Let's go on the monthly. What do we have on the monthly? All right. So, what's capping the market? So we got September. September was fucking crazy. So what we got? November's high. November's high is actually the factor over here. So if I draw a range bound environment up here, and let's see what we got. All right. This is all new to me, so I'm gonna run this with you together, and let's see what we have together. So we got. I can see that. I can see it acting as resistance. What's key? November's high. Acting resistance. You can see the mid-range, lose the mid-range, a little bit of choppiness there, which makes a bit of sense there. Resistance, 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 resistance. All right, cool. We run these highs over here. That's fine. We run these highs there. That's fine. Now, excuse me. Whoops. I'm gonna mark out this level here, and I'm gonna call it exactly what it is. November's high. Right, that's the key element there. So what we know already right off the bat, if PHP reclaims November's high and holds above it, shows bullish market structure, we can run these highs up there, and then after those highs, then we can see where the fuck we go. I mean, it would be like, I don't know if you wouldn't count this as part of PA, but I think that's more of a price discovery, like a scam wick kind of thing. Let me just draw that out there. Oops, wrong way around. Do this over here. Do that over there. Just November's high right here. Let me draw this over there. I just want to draw this and see what. You see what happened? That's an extension of the range. All I've done is use this range over here. Oops. Pay attention. I'm teaching you a lot of things here, which it might go over your head. But I use this range over here and I copied and pasted it over here. That's what I've done. And you can see how. Whoopsie daisy. You can see how we got capped at the $2.39. All right. So if I were to reclaim and hold above it, what I'm looking for is $1.79, $1.80. Once it does its thing, hold above it, then we go to $2.39. From $2.39, we'll see what happens. If we break out on the upside, we'll keep on going on the higher end. But that's pretty much it. That's the bullish scenario there. But if I start narrowing it down on the weekly, what do we have on the weekly? Let me look at the 4 hours. 4 hours will probably tell me a bit more of a storyline. Okay, 4 hours, we're finding support. All we've done, right? It looks like a breakout. You see this consolidation over here? This is the consolidation over here. The breakout, retest, deeper pullback. Does it come into this area here? Well, I don't know, who knows. But really and truly what I want to see is a break of this high over here. Once we break above these highs there, we can actually run into these lows there. We might find some reaction over there, pull back. But then once we reclaim this high here, I think that's enough for me to say, yeah, we're most likely going to go up higher. Bearing in mind what Total 2 is saying as well. And as on BTC and Ethereum is behaving, I think $1.18, $1.80, $1.79, whatever it was. And then we can go on a breakout play on this to $2.40. Not a bad play. Actually, it's not a fucking bad play. So, again, would I enter in just yet? No, not necessarily, because we are finding resistance, right? I'm sorry, we're not finding resistance, but we are capped within this area here. So this is the area consolidation. This is the area consolidation for 3 weeks. If I start seeing price action breaking down, what am I looking for? I want to see price come into this mid-range here, and if we come back down, back into the range low, right? And then from there, it could just be a consolidation period, and that was a deviation. Then we don't know what happens. If we lose this level here, play back to the mid-range, right? But if we actually hold into here, I'm happy to play as a short term from 90 cents to $1.19. $1.19 looks good. This is a 20% drop. I think it's a nice 20% play on spots, you know? So, does that help, brother? Who's it? Was it Nando? Nando, does that help, Nando? Afternoon, Federico. How you doing, my brother? Yeah, so huge answer. Yeah, my mistake was that I bought ETH at $570 in 220 and didn't sell at 4,500, but sold at 2,200 in bear market. It is what it is. I was greedy. Do you know what it is, Hugh? I'll be honest. We've all been there. I've been there. Majority of people have been there. I think 99% of people has been there. We can comfortably say most people have actually been in that area where you feel like, like you want more and more and more, but like it comes back to the idea of an investor. If you start investing now, look, for example, I touch base on Apex. All right, let me do Apex, and I'm gonna call it a thingy, and then we'll have to do another stream properly because I spent quite some time doing the introduction, but yeah, I spent a lot of time on the introduction, and which will set base for everybody else. But then going forward, you guys we won't be really wasting too much time on Total 2 and explanation on Bitcoin. We'll just go straight into it, okay? So, throat is dry when you talk too much in it. So what I've done here, this is Apex, right? This is one of those that I'm bag holding. I'm honestly telling you the truth. That I'm literally have invested at 31 cents, at 30 cents. Literally, this breakout was pretty much like where from here I entered around here, right there, just before the breakout itself. So I got in, and I told the guys in the DCC what the deal was anyway. So that's the range low, and to me that's the range high. Okay, why did I use this as a range? Let me just hide this for a second. Can you see this low here? Oops, it's not perfect there. Let me do this again. This is the range low, and that's the range high, something like that. There we go. Can you see when you look at the price? This is the original range low, find support, double bottom, rally up, and that's the high. So it makes a swing low, makes a swing high. So this is where price is actually capped here. And when we come back there, this is around the mid range, and I'm sure it does a deviation of the mid range if I bring up all the levels. Yeah, that's it. You can see the mid range right here. Let me just highlight that. That's the mid range. And you can see quite carefully, right, how we actually get back below the mid range, find resistance, do a lower low, step back up, bullish market structure, hold above it, takes out these highs there, and off it goes, rallies all the way up high, taking out these highs there. Now, if I copy this and paste this over here, how does it look like? So all I got to do is literally do the same thing. That's the second range high, and this is the mid range. All right, so now let's just talk about this now. What I've got here now is that price is consolidating in this area. Yeah, you can use this high there, and this low there, whatever. But sorry, but really and truly, I've just used this as my base, and I copy and paste it there. And then as we go up, we just copy and paste it, and as we shoot up, and bear in mind, this is like what's Apex sitting on? Let me have a look. Apex is sitting on 9 million market cap. All right, sitting on 9 million market cap. Is it going to hit like a billion? I don't know. Right, if it does, happy days. That's 100x there for you. That's 100x there. What's his competitor? Uniswap. What's Uniswap's thingy? Market cap as it sits right now. 5 billion? 5 billion. I'm not asking for 5 billion. I don't really care about 5 billion. If it hits 5 billion, I don't give a shit. You can do that. But once it hits a billion, if it ever when it does hit a billion, obviously you're going to monitor it with BTC and Ethereum and Total 2. That's always going to be a factor, because you have to remember, I'm having an investor's mind, and I'm also having a trader's mind. But if the trader's mind is telling me, yo, hang on a second, the market's looking bearish to go back to, from like, let's say we got to 60k and we're shooting back to 30k, I've got to say, yo, fuck it, cut the trade. And if Apex is like at $500 million, I made like a 50x right there. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I bought in at I think just under 8 million market cap anyway. But I made a good 50x anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to play this as it goes as a long-term hodl. This is Uniswap, and I've used Apex. It's a really, really good freaking exchange. Obviously, they've got a lot to grow into it as well, in terms of actually adding more coins on there, and I'm sure they will do so as well. But you think about it for a moment, innit? Like, if you want to make those 100x's, you're not going to make 100x's off a market cap which is already like 5 billion. You're not going to see it at 500 billion. The market cap currently as it sits, right, the all-time high was $3 trillion. So you're telling me 1/6 is gonna be Uniswap. That's gonna do the 100x. Well, what's gonna happen to Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Bitcoin gonna do like 1,000x. Come on, man. Be realistic. Sometimes you gotta look for these lower cap coins as well, man. It's the low caps are the ones gonna make you the 100x's. It's not gonna be the large caps. Large caps are the safer options. Play this appropriately that you need to. And take profits when you need to take profits as well. Okay, that's all I can say. It's entirely up to you how you take profits, but do take profits when you can as well. Don't get too greedy. Play this level to level. All right. So I posted this on Twitter not too long ago. We're at range high. Am I gonna add some more? No. I bought in over here, right? Am I gonna add some more? No. So it's come back there. It's fine. It's pulling back there. This is the mid range. If you find support over here and hold above it, I want to see it come back into the range high. The confirmation for me that you say, yeah, this is bullish, is when we take out these highs there, reclaims and hold above it. This is now, I can say, whatever the position that I haven't added on, add on the rest of the position there. So that's my plan, to add on like I said, I put a third of my capital I want to put on alts. I've got a number of alts I want to buy, or X amount of alts. I'll split the number out. I know how much I'm going to put in each alt and whatnot, and I'm just going to put it in accordingly. I can always get on board whenever I need to. If price decides to come back down, right, come back down, maybe do something like this into the range low, back into my entry and hold above it. Fine, I can add a bit more if you want to. DCA back into the mid range, back to range high, breakout plan as it is. Now, what happens if price decides to say, you know what, fuck this, go back to range low? Am I gonna sell? No. Me personally, I'm not gonna sell. Like that's my personal opinion. You guys don't need to copy that. You guys don't. I'm not telling you guys do the same as I'm doing. I'm in a position that I can actually hold out for a longer period of time. I'm quite happy to do so. But if it comes down to the range lows and holds above it, this is when I'm starting looking to DCA over here around 15 cents to play it back into 30 cents, and my average would become to about what, 22 cents. And then if this does like getting into 1 billion market cap, you're having a laugh. You know what I'm saying? You're having a laugh. So hopefully that actually makes a bit of, gives a bit of clarity in terms of alts and what some of the things I'm looking at. There's a bunch of other things. We'll talk about that afterwards as well. I don't want to go on for too long. It has been a bit of a long stream there, but that's really how I'm looking for it. I'm looking at just investing. I'm not looking here to buy and sell. That's a trader's mentality. And you know what is? I did the trader's mentality in the last run. Big mistake. That's my view of it. But everyone's got a difference of opinion. It was a big mistake as well. When it's a bull market, it's a bull market. No one talks about the bull market of Bitcoin from 6k, well, from 5k. Ooh, I'm gonna pick this up in a bit. Give me a second there. I need to pick this up. Sorry. Yep, that is my cue that I have to go as well. But really and truly, like what I was saying to you guys is, I made the mistake of actually playing as a trader. I could have made a lot more multiples there. I wish I actually bought, for example, a lot of coins a lot more earlier and just held on to it. It would have been great. Solana was an example. Link was another example. There's so many numbers. BNB is an example. You know, you know what, yeah, it's going to suck to hold on to it. And if it does go lower, but we had a bear market, and a lot of alts have dropped down like 70, 80, 90%, you know, so how much more do you want it to drop? How greedy do you want to get? Like if BTC goes to 12k, it goes to 12k. I've got capital to buy into it. I'm not saying you guys to buy into it. What I'm saying is start looking out for what the market is doing. And I think Total 2 is going to be our key factor that we're looking at going forward in the near future as well. So hopefully that helps you guys as well. Really appreciate you guys actually, being on the stream. I do apologize, Carl. I know you wanted me to actually cover some of some of the alts, but I won't be able to do it today. I do gotta bounce off. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate that. Take care. Catch you guys really, really soon. Take care, guys.